Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about a 1935 comedy called Gilded Lily. It stars Claudette Colbert, co-stars Fred MacMurray, Ray Milland. It's a comedy set in New York City. We get the hustle, we feel the hustle, bustle of subway cars and crowded beaches. And Fred MacMurray and Claudette Colbert seek a refuge from all this on a park bench, looking over at the world as it goes by. He's in love with her. Regards him as her best friend. She doesn't feel the passion that he feels for her. This is not just a boy meets girl. Now we have another boy. We have a triangle. Passion is here with the Ray Milland character, but he's deceptive. She finds out who he is, and he's very rich, wealthy. She turns him down because of the deception. Fred MacMurray is playing a reporter. He publicizes this celebrity rich person that she has fallen in love with, and she becomes what's called the no girl. And there was an it girl in the 1920s, and she becomes famous. Claudette Colbert becomes famous for being famous. It sort of harkens back to a 50s comedy with Judy Holliday, It Should Happen to You. Gilded Lily is a star vehicle for Claudette Colbert, which means you have to use the script. The movie has to provide the moments when Claudette Colbert can use her comedic skills, of which she had plenty. And she gets a couple good scenes, a drunk scene. People want to know who she is, so she develops a nightclub act, which is a disaster, but through her intelligence and her likability, she wins the day anyways. So again, this is sort of a programmer. It's directed by Wesley Ruggles. Ruggles was a Paramount studio director. He went from job to job. He didn't have the elegance, say, of Mitchell Lyson. His screenwriter, Claude Binion, writes some really good dialogue here that MacMurray and Claudette Colbert really take advantage of. But it's not dialogue. It's not Billy Wilder. It's not Preston Sturges dialogue. All of whom worked at Paramount in the 1930s. But Ruggles focuses on the characters, on the performances, on making sure that the comedy moves along fast. It's not a slow-paced movie. I don't think it's much more than 80 minutes. But this is what satisfied audiences then. And, what is it, 85, 86 years later? It's surprising how well this stuff stands up. The star system that was Hollywood in the 1930s, no matter what studio you were at, they were always developing movies for their stars, their star persona, while also developing new stars. Fred MacMurray, for instance, this is his first leading role, and he really was only in two other movies, one as a walk-on and one in a very small part. He was terrified of having to appear with Claudette Colbert. He didn't think he was up to the task. She put him at his ease. She really liked him. Claudette Colbert really liked Fred MacMurray. And surprisingly enough, Carole Lombard did not, even though they made a few films together. And Claudette Colbert and Fred MacMurray would go on to make 6 more films together. Included their last film was The Egg and I, the film where Bob Pockel series developed out of with Percy Gilbride and Marjorie Main. So they had great chemistry together, and MacMurray is really good in this film. It's surprisingly so. Milland was sort of just kicking around. He had yet to find a signature role for him, a signature part, but he's also very good in this movie. As we're at Paramount, there's always these great stock actors. They come from all around the world. We see them in movie after movie. And Claude Binion does very well at giving this stock company of supporting actors some really good moments, including Louis Alberni. Alberni plays the nightclub, the cafe owner, who just can't believe that Claudette Colbert could possibly become a singing and dancing star. You might remember him probably as one of his most memorable roles was in Easy Living, where he played the hotel owner who uses Jean Arthur in a very funny mistaken identity passages of bringing publicity to his hotel. He was a Spanish actor, and also we have a very brief moment of the Weenie King. If you've ever seen Preston Sturges' movie, The Palm Beach Story, the Weenie King is an integral part of that. But you don't see him. The actor who played him was called Robert Dudley, and you don't see him in a whole lot of stuff. And in this movie, you recognize him from his voice, because his voice is so distinctive. The Weenie King, but the scene is pretty much over before it begins. So we have, I think, a movie of behavioral charm, I think you would have to say. And these people, they don't seem outdated. You know, they seem like real people from today, which is a big, which is a tribute, I think, to both Binion and Ruggles. And Binion went on to write many more movies with Claudette Colbert, also with Carol Lombard. They all sort of revolve around the triangle, marriage and money angles of who do I marry, who do I fall in love with, Kino also Gilded Lily was released last week by Kino, and they also released another Claudette Colbert, Fred MacMurray movie, The Bride Comes Home. This from the same year, 1935. Actors and directors, everybody was kept very busy in the 1930s, and you see and The Bride Comes Home, Fred MacMurray is right below Claudette Colbert, so one must assume that Fred MacMurray made quite an impression on audiences in 1935. So a bright, breezy, light comedy, kind of comedy that goes down real easy on a hot summer's night. I enjoyed it. Okay, that'll about wrap up this video. I'll talk about the other movie a few videos down the line. Comments are always welcome. Thanks to everybody who listened all the way to the end. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you next time.